And it's working. Thank heavens.
Got it. Hello, everybody. I think we're probably on Facebook now. We are coming to you through Zoom, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm in the right place. So I think we probably are. If anyone's already there, the three of us, maybe just give us a heads up. Marilyn is okay.
Yeah, it says we're there. So.
Okay, perfect. So we are so pleased to welcome you to Staycation Spring 2022, and we're going to give you a little bit of an introduction from all of us in just a little bit, but we just want to welcome you and thank you for coming and joining us for our 7th event. And it's really hard for us to actually believe that we're at number 7. We started this, well, 7 times ago. And I think that we've actually been getting a little bit better every time. And hopefully with all of your good comments and feedback, we will keep improving. So we have a full day of ideas for you tomorrow. Tonight is really just a little getting to know you, just a really informal session. And we have some prizes, we have some games, always. I really like games. And so we will be doing that throughout the evening tonight. And maybe just for our first question, because we're going to ask you some questions and ask you to put them into the comments, just let us know where you are watching from, geographically, where you're watching from, and maybe what staycation number this is for you, because we have a whole gamut from people who have been to every single one of them to people who this is their first one. So we would love to know that. If we can see that in the comments, we would be thrilled. And you are seeing on your screen right now 3 of us. You're seeing Lillian, Marilyn, and myself. And we will be here for the evening, but we have a hidden person in the background there. And that is our friend and fellow demonstrator, Carmen. And she is our moderator for this evening, really for the weekend. So if you see Carmen's name pop up in answer to a question that you might have, or just a comment that she posts, she's doing that on our behalf. Don't be nervous or anything or worried about her. She's a good gal. So we thank her very much for helping us moderate our event, because it's a little bit difficult for us to pay attention and be here and be looking at your comments at the same time. So I do have some notes, so I'm going to refer to them throughout the evening. I probably will forget everything that's on my notes as I get going. That tends to happen. But the first thing, are we seeing some comments come in about where you guys are from? Because I don't have mine going up here. So we are, I see Marilyn nodding her head.
It said 14 or something here a minute ago, but I can't read them, so we'll just have to read them later.
Okay, so welcome again. Every single person here is a friend. We are all paper crafters, and this is one of the wonderful ways that we get together as friends. And I know we're getting together virtually, but we're still together. And there are so many people here that have a wealth of knowledge, and we welcome everybody, whether you are a new stamper, someone who's just starting to learn how you put ink onto stamps and then onto paper, how you make cards, to people who've been doing it for years and years and years. Everybody has a place here, and we are so happy to welcome you too. So we all are very passionate about paper crafting. We all have a pretty good stash of supplies, and I'm certainly one to say that I have a pretty good stash. And I think Marilyn and Lillian could say the same as well. So again, say hi in the comments, let us know where you're watching from. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do tonight, and then we'll get to some introductions. So maybe I should introduce myself first, at least, just my name. So if you have never even seen my face before, know who the heck is talking to you. I'm Joanne. I'm Joanne Rogers from our trio, and I'm happy to welcome you here. And I'll give more about my background a little bit later. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, actually not a huge amount. Really, it's just a bit of a gab session. So we want to get to know all of you a little bit more. We want to tell you about us a little bit more, and we want to play some games. We want to get you sort of revved up going for tomorrow, and we'll just give you the lay of the land for what tomorrow is going to be as well. Sorry, I have a little feather flying around in front of my face. Okay, so we want to let you know when you'll be stamping, when you'll be participating, how you can participate, where you're going to find things. So there's a lot of information in tonight. So we also just might have a prize giveaway or 3 tonight. And just to let you know, for all of our prizes for our event, if you happen to be an international participant, so either from the US or the UK or wherever you might be, because we do have one from across the pond this time, and we're so happy to welcome her, that our prize for you is going to be a special prize, because as demonstrators in Canada, we cannot give product outside of the Canadian boundaries, but we have a special prize if you happen to be one of our winners this weekend. And we're also going to sprinkle tonight. You're going to have to get your fingers exercised, because you need to put in some comments and you need to let us know answers to some questions. So don't be shy about putting comments in, and especially get yourself ready for comments tomorrow, because we really look forward to hearing what your comments are as we are crafting and making our projects tomorrow. And so what we want to do, the very first thing where you're going to exercise your fingers throughout the whole event tonight, is we put a sentiment search game up. Marilyn put that up, I think, was that yesterday, Marilyn? And so you needed to print that off and answer the questions. Now, if you haven't done that, there's still time. You could still get in on the winning, even if it's bragging rights. And so Carmen is going to put the link up in the comments, and you can just click on the link. If you don't yet have yours, click on the link, print it out. You might be able to answer some of the questions really quickly while we're still talking, and then you can get yourself ready. So thank you, Carmen, for doing that for us. Okay, so feel free at any time to make comments, ask questions, ask for clarification, ask us to repeat something if you didn't quite get it. We're pretty easygoing. So we want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on, and we want you to feel at home here. Okay, so again, we want to thank Carmen. So Carmen is our sister demonstrator. So the 3 of us, Lillian, Marilyn, and I, and Carmen, are all really sisters. We are sisters in the Karen Dukes Divas team of demonstrators here in Canada. We're all Stampin' Up demonstrators. We've been around for a number of years, and we want to thank Carmen because she's helping us out, and she's doing a great job. So okay, mostly she's going to keep us in line, but she might keep you guys in line too. So we'll see. Okay, so I actually have, if you have your sentiment search, and I know the ones who didn't have it, you're not there yet, but you can get in on other questions. We have our first question, and Carmen is probably going to be the one to tell us, or maybe Marilyn will check what the answer is. And the first, how the sentiment search is going to work is we have put down, I think there were 20 of them, were there not? Yeah. There were 20 questions, and they all have something to do with the catalog, and they are sentiments that you can find in stamp sets in the catalog. So what we've asked you to do, yes, in this catalog. Sorry, I should have held that up. And you know what? I don't even have that catalog here. Oh, well. You guys know what we're talking about. So it's the latest catalog that just came live on Tuesday. And so when we ask you the question like number 46, I know there's no 46, you will type in your answer, and then we'll just see who has the right answer. We will give you the answers to all of them tonight as we go along. So our very first one is, and that the third person, whoever's the third comment that we see, you want to answer what is number 5. So what is number 5 on your sentiment search? And you can type that right into the comments right now. And I thought I had mine right here. Marilyn, do you have it in front of you?
I do.
To read it out?
It says, number 5, let's get together soon.
Okay, so put into the comments what your answer is to that one. Okay, and then so we also have a first question for you. So this is also where you get to use your dexterity of your fingers. And this we have developed through our 6 staycations so far. I'm not sure that we even thought that this was going to be an outcome of our staycations. And it has turned out to be probably the finest outcome, the best feel-good outcome, and it is the community that we have been developing. And we call you guys staycationers, and we hope that you're proud to call yourself staycationers. We are just a whole bunch of ladies. We haven't had a gentleman yet, but that could happen. And we have such a wonderful community, and we want to find out a little bit more about you, and we want you to feel right at home when you're here with us. So we're going to learn a little bit more about you. Here's your first question to put answers into the comments. What was your favorite hobby when you were a kid? And it may have nothing to do with paper crafting. So when you were a kid, what was your favorite hobby? So let's just find out. And for some of us, thinking back to when we were a kid is more years than we would like to actually admit to. So what was your favorite hobby when you were a kid? Okay, now while you're typing that in, we are going to start to introduce ourselves.
Okay, Joanne.
And yes?
We do have a winner for the sentiment search, and it's Kathleen Chabot.
Okay, Kathleen, congratulations. You are, and that was, for those of you who didn't know or don't know, that is Cup of Tea. So that's one of the very first stamps in the new catalog, and it is great. I have it here somewhere, but I don't want to leave you because then you'll just see my cupboards in back of me. So
it is on page 13.
Okay. So if you haven't even looked at that one, I hope you do, because it's a special one. Okay, so we are going to introduce ourselves. So we're going to start with Marilyn. So Marilyn, if you can say hello.
Hi. I am coming to you from Spruce Grove, just a little bit west of Edmonton. I have lived here, seems like forever. And prior to that, I lived farther, grew up actually in Alberta, grew up at Keep Hills, which there is no longer a school. That was my elementary school, high school in Stony Plain. That school has been taken down and a new one put up. So like Joanne said, we've been around for a long time. So my crafts, I love doing at this stage of my life, free time, anything from card making to quilting to diamond art to jigsaw puzzles to crocheting. And the odd time you'll find me on the computer doing word searches and those kind of things, because I like keeping busy and I like learning something new each day. And as these ladies will say, they usually give me a task to do and I can find the answer, hopefully, before too long. So I really like doing that. We have a son and a daughter. Our son and his family with 2 boys and one of them has a fiance, live here in Spruce Grove, so they're close to us. And we have a daughter with 3 little ones, little, 11, 9, and 7. And the youngest one is a girl. So when she came along, we weren't quite sure what we were going to do with a girl after all these boys, but we're having a ball with all the grandkids and everybody being close by. I've been friends with Karen Duke since we met in high school. So when she joined Stampin' Up, what was it, 20 years ago, Joanne, when it came to Canada? It was a natural that I would end up being in Stampin' Up world with her, and I've loved every minute of being on this job, as they call it. My dream when I was in school was to be a teacher, and that never happened because when I finished grade 12, I was done with school. And now I feel like I've really come around again, and I get to teach about card making and computer things, and just love sharing with people like that. So I do share cards and home projects with all our family close by and at distance, and it keeps them in touch with me because they want an updated address so that they get their happy mail. So that's a little bit about me. Thanks, Joanne.
Okay, thank you. So did you want to do your challenge winner?
Yes, that's what it says on my paper. I'm going to be a challenge winner. As soon as I can figure out how to get to that screen, we have the names in. I'm like Joanne, I've got the wrong screen in the wrong place here. This one. So we have put all the names of those of you who actually posted a picture of the challenge, not just commenting on it. And I am going to hit this button and we are going to find a winner.
Now, Annette, we actually do have a lot of really nice music to go along with that, but we couldn't hear it. So,
oh well, Annette, congratulations. So,
okay, so back to me. I'm just going to introduce. It's going to come back to me, and it's going to go right away to Lillian to give an introduction for herself.
Hi, I'm Lillian, and I'm so glad to be sharing this event, not only with all of you out there, but with these three ladies. We've learned so much from each other and learned to become, we've grown really close as friends. I too live in Spruce Grove. Although Marilyn and I don't live very far from each other, we never see each other because of all the restrictions that we lived through the last couple of years. So we get together virtually as well. So it's really fun. I grew up in a place just on the edge of White Rock. So if you think of the Pacific Ocean and the US border, that little corner of Canada south of Vancouver, that's where I grew up on a farm there. Our farm is now a superstore, so that things have changed a little bit. My husband and I have two children, one and four grandchildren. One child lives here in Edmonton, and she has the two grandchildren here, so we get to see her lots. And our son lives in the Netherlands. We have seen a lot of the world because of him. They've moved many times in different parts of the world. And again, because of COVID, we have not seen them for over 2 years, getting close to 3 years. So we're pretty excited because they're coming this summer and we're going to get to see them all and the two grandchildren from there. So that's our excitement that we're looking forward to. I've always loved crafting, and when Joanne asked about a hobby as a child, I always wanted to know how to sew, and my mother was a non-sewer. She was, I would like to say, allergic to it. She hated it, but my aunt gave me sewing lessons if I babysat for them. So it was a win-win, and I learned to sew that way. So that was likely my first hobby that I really got hooked on. And then I've always liked crafting in some form or other. I discovered rubber stamping through team building thing at work one time, and eventually discovered Stamping Up and fell in love with Stamping Up because everything coordinated. I have a hard time making decisions about what goes together, and everything went together. And so that was just wonderful for me. And then eventually there was a wonderful starter kit offered. And so my friends convinced me that, yeah, it was a good time to sign up, because the starter kit was good and I could get a little discount on what I was buying. But then I started to share with some people around me and eventually shared with more, and things kind of grew slowly at first. And but here I am today still doing it. And that was, I think, 17 years ago. So I think I'm hooked. I do love to create. My husband says, "Are you in there working?" I said, "No, I'm in there playing in my craft room." So to me, my work now is my play. I love to create, but I also love to share. So this is the perfect opportunity here. And I also love to help somebody else find their crafting mojo. So again, perfect fit. So thanks for joining us, and I'll pass it back. Oh, I've got to do, I tend to be a bit squirrely, so you have to bear with me. So now I have a prize for you. And remember, we had challenges, one a week for 3 weeks. And if you didn't see them, take time to go back and look, because what people created was pretty amazing. So now I am going to try to get to my wheel. Oh, I think I did it.
You did.
Full screen. There we go. And Annette, I forgot to take your name off. So Annette, if it lands on you, we'll go to the person above you. Okay. All right. Are we ready? And away we go. Where it lands, we do not know. Oh, so Annette, we said we would go to the one above you. So that is Catherine Bronze. So Catherine, congratulations. And thank you so much.
Okay. Congratulations, Catherine. And now a little bit about me. So many of you know, but I'm a bit of a displaced Ontarian. So I'm originally from Thunder Bay, and my family still lives there. And in fact, my mom is watching tonight. So Mom, put a comment in there if you can. And but I've been in Central Alberta now for close on 30 years. So I guess you can consider me an Albertan now. I live on a farm just east of Blackfalds, which is just outside of Red Deer, with my husband. And really the person who rules our house is our dog Macy. And she is as sweet as the Dickens. She's a little Cocker Spaniel. And I'm really serious when I say that she rules our house. We don't do things unless we ask Macy if it's okay. So I like to keep myself busy, and I am by trade an accountant. Went to school for that, and I worked in that area in accounting and business management, really, and people management for years. And I retired about 6 years ago from that, and I do this now full time. So it's a great way to wake up in the morning and look forward to what I'm doing every day. I have learned a ton in the last 6 years about this business from a different perspective. And one of them is this type of social media and this type of virtual, and especially over the last 2.5 years almost now with the pandemic. So it's fun to play with all the new stuff that we get. It's fun to come to you like this. And just like Lillian said, I probably get a real huge charge out of the whole designing and creative process. And then second to that is sharing and coming to you and teaching you how to make whatever it is that I've done. I tend to focus on simple things because I think you can take simple and you can embellish them and make them more. If you're a little bit more, you like a lot of things on it, you can do that with simple, where it's a little harder if you start wear a whole hog and then you have to start pulling away. So excuse me, I came to Stampin' Up is Karen Duke, is we used to own a store, 3 ladies and me and 2 other ladies used to own a store in Red Deer called Personal Imprints. And it was a rubber stamping and scrapbooking store. And I know that there's a few people here who actually visited that store when we were open. And we closed it down in 2000, and it was perfect timing, and there was no ulterior motive to it, but Stampin' Up had just come into Canada. So when Karen became a good friend of ours, because she used to teach classes at the store for us, and there's lots of folks here in Red Deer who benefited from her great teaching skills as well. So when Stampin' Up came in and we closed down, I signed up as a demonstrator with Karen the same day. We were still standing in the store. So the same day that we closed the doors. So, and I haven't looked back, then that's almost 20 years ago now. And there have been a lot of changes in that time. And I thought I would just pull out and show you the catalog that we had at the time that year. And maybe, and this is where I was going to have my catalog here for you, my new one, but it is quite different. And I'm just, look at all those tabs that are still on the top. All of these tabs are different ideas, but look at the inside. So the inside of our catalog has changed an awful lot. So there's still lots of great samples, but it has a totally different look. And so like Lillian, the thing that really inspired me or brought me on board was all the color coordination. I love color. And so the fact that you could match the markers to the paper, to the ink, to the ribbon, and it's gotten a lot more exciting over the years, the things that we coordinate with, it just makes our creating so easy. So that's, I'm not saying that I'm lazy or anything, but it is easy when you have that color coordination. So we've come a long way when you look at that catalog to where we are today and the beautiful catalog that we have. And even though we've seen lots of those changes over the years, the thing that has always been the same is that it's a bunch of people getting together and enjoying themselves playing with paper. And when you all boil it down, that's what we do. And that's what you all do, I think, too. And most of the time we do that ourselves in our rooms and our craft spaces. But when we can get together either virtually, like we're doing tonight and tomorrow, or in person, there's just a special feeling in the room. And it's so fun. And that's probably what keeps me around and has kept me around for 20 years. So As I said, my background is in accounting and business management, and it's hard to believe where the last 6 years have gone. And I have to say, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this time of year, because when that new catalog comes out, just like you guys, it's a bit overwhelming. And I love everything that's in there, but there's no way that I can possibly get everything. So I always vow to stick to a budget. Sometimes I'm a little bit better than others, and I think most of you can probably understand that. So thank you so much for allowing me to play for a living. This is a great job, although I don't think it's really a job. I also have a challenge winner. So my challenge was for a technique, and there were a bunch of different techniques in the project that I showed you, but there's so many techniques in rubber stamping. And whether you like embossing or dry embossing or heat embossing, or if you like watercoloring, or mine featured blends. And so whether you like any of that things, even one technique, which is one that you do all the time, you are getting so good at that one technique, I'll bet you. And you can be proud of yourself, because that's a skill that you've developed. Okay, so let me share my screen if I can get my mouse to work. Uh-oh, I've lost everybody. There we go. I'm going to share my screen. Now I'm really small. Here we go. Okay. My mouse is having doing a world of its own. Okay. And now we're going to go here. Okay, can everybody see that? I think you probably can. And so let me move. I do have music, but I'll bet I can't even play the music. So let's click this right now. Can you hear it?
I can.
Oh. Congratulations, Bonnie. So I'm going to stop my share and come back to you now. So congratulations, Bonnie. So all of our prizes for our event, they will be mailed to everybody, unless you happen to live right next door to someone. And that will happen at the beginning of the week. Okay, so let's see. Is that everything that I need? Oh, I have your next question for you. Okay, so here's your next question, and it is, now, do I look blurry to anybody? Because I look awfully blurry on my own screen.
All of a sudden, you went blurry.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is it's blurring out my age line. So I don't know what just happened there.
The soft look.
Yes,
it's a new technique.
Yes, it is. Yes, this is a new technique. So, okay, so here's your question for you. So you want to get your fingers ready and put your answer in. And what's been the biggest change you made in paper crafting since you first started doing it? So actually, I don't know, and I'm going to put Marilyn and Lillian on the spot there for that one. What's been the biggest change and I didn't even think of my own answer, the biggest change you made in paper crafting since you first started doing it? And I'm going to say for me, probably something like the stamp positioner, so Stamparatus, and being able to get immediate and you know that your stamp is going to be in the right place and straight. I'm going to say maybe that. So Marilyn, Lillian, and I really did not give these guys this question in advance.
Spending more money?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Definitely that. I don't know, change, like over the years, it's just learning new things.
I do have my phone up here. I'm seeing using dyes, ink blending, watercoloring. Lillian?
For me, I think the big wow when I started was heat embossing, but now it is like the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine die cuts. But I've also found that I'm learning sometimes, not always, to simplify and incorporate more white space. I used to try to put everything that I could possibly do on one card or project, and learning to take a few things away is an improvement for me. So yeah,
that's a really good suggestion for people. So okay, so now we want to tell you. So many of you know the background about how we started with Stamping Staycation, but we're just going to give you a little tiny hint about how we came to be and how you're here with us. So we got started, we were talking about a way for us to get together, and because I'm down in central Alberta and Marilyn and Lillian are up in I'm going to call it Northern Alberta, but it's not really Northern Alberta. And the three of us were talking, and it was actually before the pandemic that we were talking about how to get together and do something together. And then when the pandemic hit, we started talking more about how we could come to you and bring our community together, even though we couldn't be there in person. And so we have built our staycation a little bit around the Creative 8 idea, which are some ladies down in the States. But we've added a few of our own little personal quirks, maybe our own little tweaks to it that we hope you enjoy. And things like doing the tip videos. And I have to tell you that those really do make us work. And it's very interesting because we learn things as we are doing them. So don't miss out on the tip videos that you'll see pop up in the Facebook page tomorrow. And they're not very long. I think mine probably this time is the longest at 9 minutes and 59 seconds. So I just snuck under the 10-minute mark, but we try and keep them a little bit shorter for you. So we love, as we've said, this type of sharing in this community, and we expect that we're going to continue this type of event, and we thank you for helping us do that. Okay, so throughout the whole event, tonight, tomorrow, anytime, feel free to give us feedback about what went well, what maybe could have gone just a little bit smoother or easier, or something that you would have liked a little different. And we take all of those comments to heart, and we incorporate them into our next one. So we'd be happy to hear from you. Okay, so here's what we have in store for you tomorrow. So we're going to have a quick session, very quick, like this. Oh, time out.
You had a sentiment search in there.
Thank you. Okay, so sentiment search. So this is going to be the 5th person. So person number 5 who puts their comment in the answer to number 3. And Marilyn, can you read it, please?
Yes, sending a little message.
So if you can put your answer in, and as soon as we have our 5th person, maybe you guys could just shout it out before I get going too quickly.
Yeah.
Because you know that I'm going to do that. Oh, Bonnie is saying she can't wait for staycation number 20. Okay, Bonnie.
Now that's looking ahead, Bonnie.
That's forward thinking for sure.
Pay in advance, Bonnie. We'll do it.
Okay. And do we have a 5th person?
Not yet.
We've got to be getting close.
It's got to be there, but Carmen's counting, so we'll wait.
Okay. We'll wait just a second for Carmen.
It is Denise.
Denise. Okay, congratulations, Denise. And the answer was bottled happiness. And that is a great set. It's a punch bundle. And they're just like we've had over the last few years. It has a little tiny vase, I guess you can call it. It can look like a wine bottle, it can look like a vase, and it's plastic and you can put stuff in it. So it's a fun little set. Okay.
Page 16.
Page 68. Thanks, Marilyn. Okay, so again, we'll have a very quick getting revved up session in the morning at 9 o'clock. Really, really short, just a couple little reminders for our day. So you don't want to miss that one. Come with your coffee or your tea or whatever beverage. There's no judgment here. If you want to have a mimosa at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday when you are treating yourself to staycation, go for it. So that's 9 a.m. And then starting at 9:15, we will have our first presentation, and then every hour after that. So 9:15, 10, 11 will be the presentations in the morning, and they'll go anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes, just depending what our particular design is. And so you're going to watch us make them, and then right after we're done, we are going to post, we'll post that video after it's done, and then we will also post a PDF so that you can get the measurements so that you can start creating. And some people do start creating right away if they just love that particular design. So we're going to come to you in this group. It will not be like this through Zoom. We will be just like we do our regular lives. So you will just have a bird's eye view of our desk and where we're working. So you'll be able to see everything up close and personal. So we have a variety of activities. So we have something that we think will tweak everybody's interest. And we each will do 2 projects for you. So we'll do that 9:15, 10, and 11. Then at maybe this is out of order, but Lillian, do you want to talk about what happens at 12:15?
Right. At 12:15 is for those of you who are returning Stamping Staycationers. For many of you, this is one of your favorite parts. And it's called Secret Stamping. And you might have seen clue number 1 released yesterday, and that was gathering your supplies. So if you didn't see it, do take a look for it and gather those supplies, because what happens in secret stamping is you don't know what you're making. I've kept it a secret. And so you're going to do one clue at a time until gradually the secret is revealed. And the neat thing about it is everybody's using different materials. And at the end, it's like instant gratification. And we all see how one set of instructions and one set of measurements can result in a zillion different results. And it's just so much fun and so inspiring and exciting. And you want to be ready and take part. Just saying.
Thank you, Lillian. So yes, everybody make sure that you, and Marilyn's going to tell us a little bit about Facebook and maybe how you can go find that post if you didn't happen to see it. But you just want to grab your paper, whatever paper you want to just cut it to the measurements that are on that image, and you'll be good to go at 12:15 tomorrow. And then we'll also start at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock for the rest of our presentations. But we're going to sprinkle some tip videos in there, and they'll just come up on Facebook. We won't announce them. We won't talk about them really in our presentations. They're little extras for the entire day. And I think we've got 3 really good ones for you tomorrow. Okay, so and just a comment. So we talked about secret stamping. We really, if this is new to you, you are number one, this is your first staycation, we don't want you to stamp with us. We don't want you to worry about having to try and keep up with how we are showing you how to do something. We really just want you to sit back, sort of absorb. If you have questions as we are doing our demonstration, feel free to type them into Facebook. And we want you to create later. And we want you to use your own stash. That is one of the best things about what this event is all about, is that we know that you have 1 or 2 pieces of paper or 1 or 2 stamp sets probably in your possession, and we want you to dig them out and use them using the designs that we show you. So again, feel free to ask any questions by typing them in. If we don't answer them right away, you may find that another staycationer jumps in and answers it for you, which is wonderful. If you are those staycationers, feel free to do that. We really appreciate when you do that. If we don't have the answer for you, because Lillian and Marilyn, if I'm presenting, Lillian and Marilyn will be monitoring and they might have the answer. But if not, we go back and we look at all of your comments and we'll answer the question if it didn't get answered. And then once we finish that live presentation, the video will be posted right away. So you can always come back and watch it again. And you can watch it as many times as you want. Let's see. I think that's about everything. Oh, one of the things that's new this time is we would like for you to post whatever you make onto your own Facebook or whatever social media that you like to use with a different hashtag. And the hashtag is, and I'm just going to hold it up, and then Marilyn, I think it's going to show, but the hashtag is hashtag Staycation Spring 22. Now, I know that seems a little bit long. We'll have this there for you, but if you just want to write that down, and then you can also tag Marilyn Wagner, Lillian Kemp, or Joanne Rogers in it, so that we can see what you're making. But we want folks to know about the fun that you had, and we always want to have new people joining us. So if that helps, then that would be great. So write that hashtag down. Hashtag Staycation Spring 22. Okay. I don't know that we need to show it.
No, I think it
You
was.
guys probably got it. Okay.
It was nice and clear.
So, and the only thing that we ask you not to do is please do not post our written tutorials anywhere. Those are ours. You can feel free to make as many designs as you want with the tutorial and certainly credit it back to us. But please just don't share the tutorials with your friends. Let's see. Okay, I think we have another sentiment search. So this is the first person. So the very first person to type the answer into this one is going to be the winner. So you're going to want to be really, really quick. So get your fingers ready. And it is the answer rather, to number 14. So this one we should get going really, really quickly.
And the sentiment is, holy smokes, you're amazing.
Thank you, Lillian. So we'll just wait, because I will bet you that, we got some folks saying they're ready for secret stamping. That's perfect. Sounds like a fun day. Excited to take part. And we have a winner, I think, but I'll wait for Carmen maybe just to give us the yay KO.
Bonnie.
Okay. And the answer is He's All That. And that is the stamp set featuring the gentleman. Okay, so Marilyn, would you like to tell us a little bit about the techie parts of our day and the Facebook group?
I'll try. I was just thinking, I don't know how this is going to work with us being in the Facebook group, but we will give it a try. Because I'm hoping to share my screen here.
It looks like you are.
Yep.
Except I've got stuff in the way and I can't really show
There we
you.
are.
There.
Move that up and let me move this one back over here. Okay, when you come into the screen, this is what you see, and most of you have already been here or are here now. So just a reminder that if you can't find us, don't panic. I'm on a PC laptop, so up here in the corner is a circle with an arrow on it. And if you hit that, if you watch my screen, when I hit that, the screen kind of goes away and hopefully comes back. And that is called refreshing. If you're dealing with a tablet or a phone, virtually you just grab the top of it and pull down and it will refresh. You'll see the same kind of thing happen. So that's the first step, is refresh your screen. If for some reason you cannot find where we are in, like here, like it won't be a Zoom, it will be a live video, just go out and come back into the group, and usually it will be right there for you. The featured is things that we have pinned to the top, like Secret Stamping Clue 1 that we were talking about earlier. And that will, for now, will probably be the only one that's there. I do believe I have the welcome screen, but everybody's been welcomed, so we'll take that away and just have this. The topics is a list. We have assigned hashtags to some of them so you can find them easier. The case, the catalog, challenges, how to find us, secret stamping, those kind of things. So just a bit of a shortcut to try and get there. But most of what you're going to find is under discussion. And I just want to show you you will be able to comment on almost everything, but you will not be able to post. We have just found through experience, the first couple times we didn't set it this way, and it was very difficult for us to monitor who had shared things, where they were, what they were for. So what we have done is set the settings so that only the three of us can actually do posts and the rest of you can do comments underneath them. So underneath here, just trying to find one that says it's closed.
So in comments, they can share their pictures, right?
Yes, I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just trying to find
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. One that has the comments turned off is one of our PDF ones, wherever the heck it is. There. Okay, something like this, when you see you have turned comments off, this is just to show you that this is in the files. You can go there and get the actual document and print it out, but you can't comment under here because otherwise we'd be looking for challenges here as well as challenges in the other place. So it just helps us keep
Marilyn, just to clarify, so in order to get that PDF, all they needed to do was click right on top of that, right?
on that, or if you so desire, you can go over here to files and it will be in there. So as far as the commenting, as Lillian mentioned, if you're in here, you can comment, which will take you to the next screen where it says comment. You can do your typing, and then right here is where the camera is. and you can click on that to upload your photo. And it will be in that, underneath that comment with right here, like this. So what Karen did in this one was she typed all of this and then she clicked on that little camera and she was able to attach her picture.
And then you have to hit enter or return or something. I forget
And most of the
sometimes.
time, in my case anyway, if I try to leave that screen without doing that, it'll say, you haven't saved your comment. Would you like to do that? So hopefully it will help you. So, and anytime there are 2 documents, there's 1 video and 1 printed sheet explaining most of this, if I didn't forget anything. And we're always available. Send us questions. Don't get frustrated over it, please. We have scheduled the posts. A couple days afterwards, you will get an email including a link to a folder that includes all of the documents. So if your email happens to change between when you registered and when we send it out, you'll be missing it. So please make sure you let us know. And in those documents as well, the PDFs, at the top of each one of them, we have put a recorded video that we've each done for our projects, as well as our tip video. There's links to them in YouTube. So we hope we've covered everything for you to be able to find things easily. And the other comment was that we love seeing your comments. As Joanne said, we will go back, we will read them. We love hearing what you have to say, but don't feel bad if we don't answer everyone. We haven't experienced Facebook jail and we don't want to, but we have heard that that is what happens sometimes if you answer everything, that they somehow don't like that. So hopefully, any questions otherwise? Yes, no?
I don't see any here.
I will stop the screen share and come back to you. Carmen says no from everyone, so thank you.
Okay. We're also organized, Roz said. Well,
Thanks,
sometimes
Roz.
we're more organized than by the time we get to here, normally we're organized, but not always. So that's a very nice compliment. Thank you, Roz. So we have a sentiment search. So you want to get your fingers ready here. So this time it's the 4th person and you want to put in the answer to number 19. And if Lillian or Marilyn can read it.
You're plain awesome.
You're plain awesome. And I think plain is P-L-A-N-E.
No, P-L-A.
A-I-M.
Oh, it is it? Okay.
Well, that might be a typo because that was my maiden name, so I might have just automatically put it in.
Okay.
And I thank Rhonda for finding the one typo that we did already, but we were able to fix it. So
Okay, so we're getting our 4th person there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be P-L-A-N-E. I think it is a typo.
Oh, okay.
Carmen, come up. Carmen has given us the answer. It is
Karen Y.
Okay, congratulations, Karen. Okay, so I think we've gone through everything that we wanted to share with you. Does anybody have any questions? Put them into the comments now, and we'll just take a peek there and see if we can answer it for you. And if not, if you have any questions for Marilyn, Lillian, or I in particular. So if you want to ask something about what we had for breakfast this morning, or, you know, like what side of the bed we sleep in or something like that, then you can certainly ask it, or you could ask something a little more related to paper crafting too. So just, excuse me, excuse me. So just put that in there. And just right on the heels of our last sentiment search, we have another one. So don't relax. So this one here is the 6th person, and we want the answer to lucky number 13.
relish the day.
Relish the day.
You have a favorite breakfast on staycation day. Whatever's handy, Carmen.
Coffee.
Coffee? Whatever my husband wants to make me. So, and he's usually pretty good. So I don't know, maybe we'll have eggs tomorrow. That would be a good start to the day.
That would be a good start, yes.
Do we have a 6th person yet? I don't know.
I actually did not make a typo. It was P-L-A-I-N for the
okay.
last sentiment search.
Huh. Now I think it would have been better to put P-L-A-N-E, but Oh,
That
okay. I
geeked
think
me
we have
out.
another question from somebody. What is our favorite new in color? Lillian.
Ooh,
This
whatever
is
one I'm
from Linda,
playing
I
with at
think.
the moment. Today it's Starry Sky, but I love them all. They're all wonderful, but I was playing with Starry Sky, so that was the one. It's so rich and sort of bluey, purpley. I don't know. It's just a good one.
Marilyn?
I just grabbed my bookmark so I could really make sure I got the names right. Tahitian Tide would be my favorite today, like you say, but it may be different tomorrow.
And I think actually mine right now is Tahitian Tide too, which is surprising to me because I thought for sure it'd be Orchid Oasis, and which I do love. And like Lillian, I love all of them. I think these are 5 winner in colors for sure because they're all different. I know we think that the Starry Sky and the Orchid Oasis are really similar, but they're not. They're surprisingly not. So yeah, I think that's it for me. How about putting your answer from what you've seen? And I know some of you don't have it in your hands. A lot of you do probably. What's your favorite new in color? You can put it in there.
So did we announce the winner for the last sentiment search?
I don't think we did.
So it was Dara Lee. Congratulations.
Oh, Dara Lee. Congrats, Dara Lee. Homemade egg bites for Karen Yeoman. Oh, those sound really good. I might have to instruct my husband to make those tomorrow.
Joanne has her own chef.
I'm just going to back you up for a minute, Joanne, to read off. Well, I guess I'm going to read them all eventually. Never mind. Forget it.
Okay. So yeah, the answer to that one was sit, stay, relax, right? Okay. So we have another question. See, you're getting a lot of participation towards the end here. So where do you get most of your ideas for your paper crafting? So where does it come to you? Does it come to you from books, magazines? Used to a long time ago. Does it come from the internet, Pinterest? Does it come from something like this, a Facebook Live? Where do you get most of your ideas for paper crafting? So put that into the comments for us, please. Okay, we like to round out our evening just with a little bit of trivia about our event and the people who are joining us. So we are starting with some trivia questions. And what you could do is just, again, type into the comments what you think the answer is to this. And I do see a lot of ideas coming in here about where people are getting their own ideas. So that's great. Thank you. Keep letting us know that. So the first question I have, and I'm just going to hold up the question right on the screen, and you can just pick A, B, or C. Okay, so pick A, B, or C. And I think there are only 3 of us probably know the answer to this. I don't think we even gave this to Carmen. Sorry about that, Carmen. But okay, here's your first question. So the question is, how many of our staycationers, so how many of you do you think are attending this weekend's event for the very first time?
Back it up a little bit, Joanne. It's a little too close to the camera. There, yeah.
Better? Okay. So less than 15% of you, between 15 and 20%, and more than 20%. How many of you are first timers, do you think? So put what you think the answer is, and we will answer that as well. So I can look when I'm holding my face here like this and I'm holding this up, I can actually look at my phone and you don't even know. So
I'm spotlighting you, Joanne. So it's
okay. So I'm all over the place. So okay, let's see. A lot of A's, some B's. It actually is more than 20%. So we have a lot of newcomers this time, and we are so welcome. We are so happy to welcome all of you newcomers. So more than 20% of the folks who have registered are brand new. So if they don't know the ropes, all of you who are long timers, not long haulers like COVID, but long timers, you can answer their questions for them. Okay, second question is, you all see that? How many of our staycationers are not from Canada? So 1, 3, or 5. How many are not from Canada? We sort of talked about this a bit, but I didn't give you the number. So 1, 3, or 5 are not from Canada. And it just means they can be anywhere else. So as I said, we have a lady who's joining us from the UK, but Scotland actually. So wouldn't you love to be able to hear her come on and hear her accent?
Yes.
I know we have an accent compared to her, but 1, 3, or 5. So let's see what we get. And A, B, or C. I'm getting lots of B's and C's. I'm seeing, and the actual answer is 5. So we have 5 folks joining us from outside the Canadian border. So welcome to you. And then we have our next trivia question here. So this one is, make sure you can see that, is what percentage of our group, I'm using a lot of nots tonight, are not Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So we are always really happy to welcome customers and demos. So do we have less than 20%? Between 20 and 50%, or more than 50% who are not Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So just think about that for a moment, and I will give you the answer to this one too in just a moment. So how many are not? What percentage are not Stampin' Up! Demonstrators? And as I said, we have a lot of demos, we have a lot of customers, and I'm going to give you a big hint because it's actually almost even. But it's not quite. So if you haven't put your answer in, that was a really big hint. So I'm seeing a lot of more than 50, but some B, some A, less than 20. We actually have 47%. So really close to 50, almost half of you who join us are demos. And thank you for doing that. We appreciate your support, and we're happy to have you. We welcome everybody. And one more trivia question, and this one is, we asked you a question. So when you join, and we don't just, make it hard, we give you questions to answer. We actually want to learn a little bit about you, and I want to have something for trivia. So this question is, which of these was not an idea that one of you had for a new product or supply? So guillotine paper cutter, large letter dies, or something with planets? Which one of those was not a suggestion that you had for us? Guillotine paper cutter, large letter dies, or something with planets? Okay, and so you can answer that, and we will get back to you. I can just see myself peeking through here. Okay, so I'll let those come in for just a moment before I give you the answer to that one. And because then we're going to do a sentiment search right after that. Are your fingers getting tired? We maybe shouldn't do everything like this all at the end, should we?
Those were just letters they had to put in, though. They didn't have to.
That's true. That's right. Those were easy ones. So I'm getting everything across the board, but what I'm mostly getting is something with planets. And surprisingly, that was a suggestion. So we did have somebody that said something with planets that are out of this world was actually the last part, but it's large letter dies. We didn't have anybody that suggested that. And it's interesting we didn't, because when you think back a couple of years, we had those, what were they, 1.5 inches, the large letters. Those are so popular, and in retirement, they're even more popular than they were. So I think if we brought those back or something like them, they'd be great. Okay, one more sentiment search, and then we will go over all of the answers. So again, you're going to put your answer in. So we want the second person to the question on number 9. And Lillian or Marilyn, what's the question?
So tiny, so precious.
So the second person, so we should see those go. Yeah, we have Carmen and Bonnie both saying, Bonnie's saying she still has hers, and Carmen saying those would be great.
I have
mine too. They're not going anywhere.
No, they're great for anniversaries and birthdays.
Yes, they are. I think we probably have a winner if we only have the
Kathleen again.
Kathleen, okay, great. Thank you, Kathleen. Charming sentiments is the answer to that one. So Marilyn's just going to go over all of the answers for you right now. So Marilyn, if you'd like to do that, please.
I'll just read them and give you the answer and the page number in case you haven't found them. Hang in there is number 1 for Wisteria Wishes, page 92. Number 2, Follow Your Own Star is Stepping Stones, page 64. Number 3, Sending a Little Message was Bottled Happiness, page 16. Number 4, thanks for putting up with me. A little cheesy, page 34. Number 5, let's get together soon, was cup of tea, page 13. Number 6, growing older is mandatory, growing up is optional. We sometimes think that. The answer is glad we're friends, page 51. Number 7, a paper hug from me is in limited edition, page 119. Number 8, sorry to hear you have a virus is tech support, page 82. I could use that stamp once in a while. Number 9, so tiny, so precious, we just did. Charming sentiments, page 38. Number 10, you're an entire year more amazing and lovely as ever is amazing year, page 28. Number 11, under his wings, you will find refuge is hope and prayer, page 71. Number 12, I owe you one is brewed for you, page 83. Number 13, relish the day is stay, sit, relax, page 179. Number 14, holy smokes, you're amazing. He's all that is page 79. Number 15, so glad you exist is best butterflies, page 37. Number 16, I'm here for you is speedy recovery, page 76. Number 17, you're meant for great things, breaking news, page 21. Number 18, you make my life brighter, heavenly hollyhocks, page 118. Number 19, you're plain awesome is vintage tools, page 87. And number 20, without you, I would be lost is lighthouse point, page 100. And I thank you, Lillian, for putting that together.
It was a lot of fun. It's fun to really just zero in on the sentiments. And so it was fun to do.
And sometimes I certainly don't do that and find out what all of them are. And some of them are, really original. So we are done for the evening, ladies. So thank you for coming along and playing with us. Thank you for playing along with the sentiment search. There is no prize for that. It's just bragging rights. So you can get on tomorrow morning, Kathleen, and you can say, I got it, I got it. And if you want, I don't think you will, but you certainly can. I'm glad that you're here to join in. Thank you for coming. We are excited about what we have planned for you tomorrow. We're going to start bright and early. So 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So make sure you have the time zone correct. I know we have some folks in a bunch of different time zones. So just make sure and set an alarm if you need to. And I think that's it. So what else? Oh, we're going to post the video for this right after. So if you wanted to watch it, you certainly could. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything, or were there any questions that we needed to answer?
I don't see any questions.
Don't see any.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, then thank you very much, everybody. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.